We'll call this meeting of the Asheville City Council to order. And my name is Esther Manheimer. I'm the mayor of Asheville, and this is your city council. Cecil Bothwell, Mark Hunt, Gwen Whistler, Jan Davis, Chris Pelly, and Gordon Smith could not be with us tonight. He is the city council member in addition to the mayor. So, this is one of our community meetings that we hold on the 5th Tuesday of any month, which has a 5th Tuesday, and we try to rotate these around different areas of town. And I think we were here last doing a exercise regarding taxes. And tonight, the focus is on, is it really, really loud? Like, is it really loud over here? I mean, because you're all just kind of prepared. Is it going to be bad if I turn it off? It won't pick up? I have to leave it on. And tonight we're going to talk about our strategic operating plan. So with that, I just want to welcome you, and I think we'll move through the agenda, City Manager, pretty quickly tonight. And Mr. Gary Jackson, our City Manager, is going to talk to you about some of the projects that are going on in South Asheville.
Thank you very much. This is loud, isn't it? Okay, we're doing quite a bit of infrastructure in South Asheville, and I have some boards in the back. We're going to look at those. But the 4 projects I would like to highlight tonight, one which you probably noticed is completed is the Overlook Road sidewalks. Anybody notice those? See that one going in? It looks really nice, and I hope that's functional. And you're seeing more people walk on that. We noticed as we put in sidewalks that they suddenly attract people walking their dogs, people trying to get exercise, and didn't realize that in some neighborhoods would use it once they get put in. So hopefully those are looking for you in South Asheville as well. The other 3 projects I'd like to highlight include, and this is all expensive infrastructure. First is a partnership that the city's participating with the North Carolina Department of Transportation. How many of you have heard of the Airport Road I-26 interchange project? Okay, this is really gonna change your life if you go in and out of that intersection. It's a 1-year project at best. It's going to take at least 365 days. It's completely redoing that intersection. It is what you call a divergent diamond. So traffic that approaches that intersection from all directions will be redirected in a way that you've not seen before. We have some contact information. There are sheets back there that you can see and get information on the North Carolina Department of Transportation's Division Office website and phone number contact there as well. But this is going to involve a complete reconstruction of that intersection to keep traffic flowing while the construction is going on. But the city is responsible for coordinating utilities. We're going to be extending 800 feet of an 8-inch public water line, 1,900 feet of a 12-inch public water line, and reconnecting private services and businesses, residences. I don't believe there are very many residences in this section during that process. So it's pretty extensive work, been planned for quite some time, but this will alter all the interstate on and off ramps in that location. Contact information in the back. Another major project is the Hendersonville Road water line consolidation. And this goes from where Fresh Market is now and goes down to Mills Gap Road. This is a 6-inch water line. Will be replaced with a 24-inch water line. It will improve the water source, make it more reliable. We've had quite a few breaks. You may have been familiar with the breaks that occurred, interruption of service. This will completely replace that section with a 24-inch water line. Should increase the reliability, of course, but it also has the benefit of adding improved water capacity to fight fires. Something that's very important in a commercial street such as that. This is completely managed by the city of Asheville. Water Resources Department. It's a $441,000 project. It begins March. Well, it begins right away. And then you should see that work proceed. It's a 60 to 75 day project. And then North Carolina Department of Transportation will come back behind that and repave that section. So the resurfacing of that project as well. Completed, their construction projects have to be done by June 30th, 2014. So that one will be a very quick turnaround. Ivan Thomas is the city's project manager. His contact information is on the sheet back there as well. Finally, how many of you are familiar with the controversy involving the old CTS manufacturing plant? Read about that? Familiar with that? Well, there is evidence of several of the wells in that area, and most of the residents in that area are served by wells. So several of those wells have tested positive for carcinogens, and so at this point, the Environmental Protection Agency, the federal agency, Buncombe County, and the city of Asheville are partnering together to install service to 120 residences within a 1 mile radius. And this will give them private water service. It's being contracted by T&K Utilities. It's a $1.6 million project, and the starting date is upon us. And so the contractor is mobilizing. This too is a 365-day project. The city's contact information is back there as well. So this will be a very, very much welcomed direct access to water, safe water for the residents in that area. And we'll also be installing fire hydrants, so the fire protection in that area will be much improved by having a water line for the fire companies to connect with. So I'll be available to answer any questions and go over the boards later, Mayor and Council. But with that, I'm ready to move into the next section of the program. Do you want to cover that? Thank you, Mayor.
All right, so as was mentioned, there's some boards back there that illustrate some of the projects that are going on in South Asheville, but the other item that we'd like to cover tonight is a review of the proposed strategic operating plan. The City Council had a retreat recently, I want to say, was it February, where we had a couple of day meeting to try to develop this year's strategic operating plan for the City of Asheville. And to do that, at that time, we asked for input from all those that attended that meeting, and shortly the City Council will need to formally adopt the plan. But tonight provides an opportunity for us to discuss it with you in draft form and solicit some input in terms of in terms of its content, and then also in terms of priorities. It'll have a lot of different things in it, and some things may be more important to you than other things, and that's what we want to hear about from you. If you look at the back of your agenda, there on the back is a rough outline of the strategic operating plan and the 3 focus areas. Focus area 1, economic growth and sustainability. Focus area 2, affordability and economic mobility. And focus area 3, high quality of life. And starting with focus area 3, I think that's pretty apparent, that tries to talk about public safety, police and fire function, healthy living, which can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people, but being able to walk places in your community, ride your bike, have access to healthy foods, a variety of things, and cultural diversity, and that has to do with Asheville better harnessing some of the rich arts and cultural components that it includes. Although I have to say that with Vogue Fest, we're well on our way. Focus area 1, economic growth and sustainability. This is probably a carryover from previous strategic operating plans, but focusing on continuing to address Asheville's revenue stream so that Asheville stays fiscally strong and can provide services and amenities to the citizens that live here now and into the future. Can provide for community infrastructure. This can be anything from roads and sidewalks to parks, greenways, you name it. And better public-private partnerships. This is something the city has done well at, but can do even better. And an example of this might be Asheville's partnership with New Belgium Brewery, which is being constructed in the River Arts District, and our partnership with the brewery to build the infrastructure around the brewery, including roads and sidewalks and greenways. Affordability and economic mobility. This focus area includes a continuation of a focus on affordable housing, which has been there before and remains a focus area for the city. But I think what is new about this focus area is the inclusion of upward mobility. And what that's talking about is the upward economic mobility of people living at all different strata of life in Asheville. So wherever you are, I'm bringing you to a better place, and what role the city can play in that effort. And I'm glad to see tonight we have some folks from the Housing Authority, and also Children First. And I know that those are folks that are concerned with the richness of the life of those that they're serving in our community, and how can Asheville partner with groups like that to provide for opportunities of upward economic mobility for all of its citizens, whether it be in jobs or housing, all components of life. So that just gives you a rough overview of the strategic operating plan. And now, we thought about breaking into groups, and you can see there's stations around the room. And I think we're numerous enough that we can do that. I think we can do that.
You can just take like 20 minutes and city staff to go to each station, facilitate people to rotate around.
Okay. Our fiscal year runs July 1 to June 30th. Yes, I guess that's the right, since we're in the process at this point, that would be the right way to align your strategic operating plan with your fiscal year. I always feel like we're behind when we take this long to adopt it, but I guess we're really not. So, yes. All right, so you get to pick your focus area, your high quality of life, or your economic growth and sustainability, or up your affordability and economic mobility. And we will we'll spend about 20 minutes, and this includes everyone who's here that's on city staff, which is a lot of people. We want your input too. We'll take about 20 minutes and get some feedback, and then come back together briefly, and then close it up. Sound good? Okay, you got about 2 minutes to pick your station. So what I'm going to do here is just wrap this up, and we're wrapping up a little bit earlier, which I think no one will argue about. So the staff will take back the notes from the different stations and review those and compare them to the notes that we have from our original session, our original retreat, and come up with a working draft that Council will consider at its next council meeting, which is May 13th, right? Yes, May 13th at City Hall.
Maybe the battery went.
Anyway, we will hopefully adopt the strategic operating plan at that time. So I'm going to end this now, and if there's anyone here who had burning questions or concerns, please stay after. We'll mingle for a moment and talk, and there are various department heads here who can address different city issues or show you some of the, you can see people already looking back there at the South Asheville Plains. So thank you very much for coming, and good evening.